Good evening, Anderson County. This is Brett Sanders, Anderson County Councilman for District 4. It's good to be back in council chambers here at the courthouse. We are now on regular schedules at the normal time frame, so we'd love to see people get out and come join us and get involved in their county government. Tonight, the April 6th meeting of 2021, we had the privilege to recognize Ella Frody from Belton, and she was selected as a 2021 Distinguished Young Woman of South Carolina, and she came along with some scholarships, some other things. She'll be traveling the county. Be Your Best Self is the platform that she will be promoting, and I was very excited for that young lady and the scholarship and the privileges, and for representing Anderson County well and winning for the state. We also had a proclamation honoring the Anderson County 911 National Telecommunicators. As you know, the 911 dispatch are really first responders. They are the person that you call when you call 911. They provide the service or determine the needs to get the police department, the fire department, EMS. They also correspond between police department deputies and fire department crews. A huge asset for Anderson County. Okay, we also had a resolution declaring April as Fair Housing Month. Anderson County rejects discrimination on the basis of race, religion, sex, national origin, disability, or families for rental or provisions for other housing services. And it's just letting people know that the county is behind and does support our Fair Housing Act, and we do support our citizens and communities. The final resolution was a resolution supporting the Area Remembrance and Reconciliation Initiative and matters thereto related. Since 1894 to 1911, we had 5 lynchings in Anderson County. This resolution for the Remembrance and Reconciliation was basically to promote awareness, dialogue, communication, and also to create public memorials or monuments in the areas of which those crimes took place. So hopefully, you know, you like to think that Anderson County, we don't have a race problem or a race issue, but there's always something that comes up. I think as our population moves forward and with the education and awareness, I think we're making great strides, and I would like to see us continue to make those strides. As far as our regular agenda for our council meeting, we had no citizens' comments at this time. No one signed up to speak. We had no third readings, no second readings. We had a first reading, which was a project called Project B4, which is a project that Anderson County is working on with developers to provide incentives for them to build a 250,000 square foot warehouse facility or manufacturing facility. It was for manufacturing or spec building, warehousing. We did a fee in lieu agreement. The total investment was really, I say 12 million, 11,900,000 and some change. The property taxes on the particular site last year was $78, and the first year's tax for 2022 will be a little over $34,000, and this project will generate over $3.95 million in the next 30 years. I was excited about the project. You know, as Chairman Dunn said during the meeting, it's good to see that people recognize Anderson County. Now people want to come to Anderson County. They want to be a part of this county and community, and it's showing. And you know, and I know that our economic development department does a great job of getting out and wooing or bringing industry in here, but you don't really have to do that as much anymore. I mean, those industries are actually coming and seeking us. So I think that's going to be a good project for the county and for the citizens. Yeah, there's also an ordinance on stray and feral cats that when a trapper or person takes them to paws to have those cats spayed or neutered, that the person that actually brings them in would be required to feed, provide water, and then take the animal back to have its rabies shots. It was 3 against and 2 for. I was one that voted against. I voted against the ordinance for the simple fact I think there needs to be a little more research. Who's going to be providing these services? Who's going to enforce it when it doesn't happen? And the other problem that I had is our stray cat population has actually decreased, and the PAWS has been doing a great job, and so has some of the trappers that she mentioned or brought up. The problem I have with it is with these ordinances in place and possibility of fines or breaking a law or an ordinance, these people may stop taking stray and feral cats in to have them spayed or neutered, and I think that would just counteract everything that we've already done to help reduce the stray cat population. And I think I understand where Councilwoman Wilson is coming from. I think there is an issue there that needs to be addressed. I just didn't feel that the way this ordinance was worded that it was the proper way or the best thing to do overall. We also had 3, I'm going to combine these. We had 3 departments or committees that we had to look at. There was an EMS committee, which the way our EMS is structured that we don't even have or has never even met or used, and from committee it was voted to disband that, and today we voted on that one in title only so that our county attorney, Mr. Harmon, can look in it and we can do away with that committee altogether. There was 2 other committees that I don't think has met in over 12 years, 14 years, and committees, Construction Board of Adjustment and Appeals and the Purchasing Review Panel that hasn't met in over 12 years. I think by state law we are required to have those committees. We put it in title only for our county attorney, Mr. Leon Harmon, to change some of the languages and to adjust the ordinance or amend the language of those ordinances. That we don't really have the committee in place at that time, but I think that if something should arise, we can form the committee to actually address any issues that may come forward. Also, there was an ordinance tonight to lease a portion of the property at the old TTI building. I think that's 1428 Pyramidary Road. And Tri-County Tech on this lease has grants from SCDOT, and their project is actually to take recycled rubber from old tires and plastic to make materials and other things that normally are made from hard plastics. It would be help decrease environmental hazards. There's some other things. I know they have the grant money, like I said, from DOT and DHEC. This ground lease to Tri-County Tech is done at market rate. Tri-County Tech is also wanting to lease some property for an enterprise campus, and it would be leased at a discounted governmental rate, and it is they will be searching for grants, doing training facilities and setting up things for as economic development brings new industries or businesses in, or existing businesses or looking to expand a product line or something of that nature. They can actually use their facility to be trained up on the equipment and type things that they're actually going to use. So that will be a good thing for the TTI property, the community, and shows how great that we work with Tri-County Technical College, and expands on the great job that they're doing as well. Also tonight we had a resolution to abandon or closure of Lakewood Lane that came before council. There was no complaints. It went through our roads and bridges, and Like I said, no problems. No one came up to complain about it, and it's another road that will come off the county's books and we won't have to maintain. There was also a resolution to grant approval to receive grant money from the state for reimbursement for the cleaning and other matters related to with the coronavirus at the airport, and they didn't really specify, but I think reading my materials, I think it was over $25,000. So that's a good thing. I'm glad that they looked out and found some of that state money to help bring it back to the county that we really weren't expecting to have that outlay. Also tonight there was council approval for paving of Public Well Road and Pebblebrook Road, which was going to the ACTC, or Anderson County Transportation Committee, to request fund matching. So that was approved by council tonight, and at least we'll have some matching funds there, so it won't cost us the full thing. There was also a request for vehicle donations from Honeypath and Belton. There was a Crown Victoria and an Expedition that Honeypath needed, an old police car. Both are actually old police cars. I think when I read through the packet, a couple 100,000 miles that we were no longer utilizing, that I think would help Honeypath and its citizens down there, and I was glad to see those assets be put to further use. There was also a truck for Belton that is Councilman Graham's district, and they had sent their thanks and gratitude for that truck as well. And again, it was a truck that was not being used, that had exceeded its life for Anderson County at the time, and I'm glad to see this being recycled and being used in the Belton area. We also had a bid approval for $109,000 to remove debris from the old Toxaway mill. That came in at like $85 a ton. I thought that was cheap. I mean, from some of the stuff that I've done personally, I looked, but I thought it was a great value for what we're getting for our money, a good value. There was also a chip spreader, which I was thinking it was chip wood, but it's actually a paver, an asphalt paver that we have one now that we use in the county, and I think the same actual brand that's been great and worked and done a good job for us. It's 35 years old now. That was a $283,000 expenditure. It was purchased in Piedmont, so I'm glad to see the money stayed locally. Plus, we're getting an asset, or replacing an asset that is done its job. So that's another good thing for today. Thank you everyone for putting up with me. I'd like to invite everyone to come out April the 20th for our next council meeting. It will be here at the council chambers. Please come out. We're requiring social distancing. Wear your mask. Everyone be safe. Just because our numbers are going down and a lot of people has been vaccinated. Myself, I've been vaccinated, but I think as summer gets here and spring and the weather gets a little warmer, we tend to get a little careless. So I strongly encourage everyone to be safe and take care, and I'll see you on April the 20th. Thank you.